Good afternoon. Hi, 10 George Realty. Welcome to our new agent or refresher course training. Today we will be going over the MLS input form and a couple of other items. So let me share my screen and we're going to get started. Okay, let me just get some stuff out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. I will minimize. Okay, so I'm going to start the meeting off and then Jacqueline will be speaking about the MLS input. So I will go ahead and start. Okay, so we're just covering some super basics today. You can belong to a multitude of Board of Realtors, but predominantly we belong to West San Gabriel Board and Arcadia. So I just have the application here. Most of you attending this meeting are already members of some board. It could be either of those two, or we have a couple that are out of Tri-County. But here's the application. Most of these I had to really scrap to get a hard copy. This is all done online now, okay? So the applications are done online with the board. That's their preference. Here you can see that they've outlined the costs for joining the board and the MLS fees and all of that. When you're a new member, there are initiation fees that you'll only pay once. Okay. So I just have the West San Gabriel's phone numbers and all that. They do, I wanted to bring this because West San Gabriel Board, no matter if you're brand new or not, you can attend their new member orientation. They have already scheduled out dates if you want to attend them. There's dates here. You can call them and sign up for one if you're so inclined. Okay, so they run that every month, and that's for any MLS member. Code of Ethic training, that is required every 3 years. And the 3-year cycle did begin on January 1. And so make sure that you do your Code of Ethics training. It's usually free. I do it just through the MLS. So I do that free, but call the board if you can't find it or get on it. Okay, it's free training. It's due every 3 years. Here's the CRMLS. This is the better one to look at. This is the full detail of dues that would be due when you sign up each year, which most of us already know. There are some voluntaries here, so you could take those out and adjust your figure here, because this figure that they give you includes voluntary, but you don't have to pay those. You can always take those out. Okay, so mine was really easy. I'm going to show you one more thing, because there are, if you notice, Jacqueline will be going to you and saying, hey, we can't do this. CRMLS has a lot of rules. In fact, there's 55 pages of them. So I'm pulling this up just to show you. We will have a copy down at the front desk. I don't want to like print this and send it to everybody. It's humongous. But if you need to read it, we'll have a copy at the front desk, and we'll probably have one here on the second floor. I'll make 2 copies, okay? So this goes over all of the rules of the MLS, what are violations, and we'll have 2 copies available, one at the front desk and one up here in my office. I'll have it laying just on my cabinet. You can grab it anytime and read it. Okay, it's 55 pages long. But what I want to say is, if Jacqueline's asking you or making a comment like, hey, we can't do that, believe her, because she's more versed on these rules than probably me, because she's working this every single day. Okay, so with that all being said, I'm going to turn it over to Jacqueline for the MLS input form and some other items that she's going to address with you. Okay, so what do you want to do? You want me to turn the computer that way?
Right there.
Okay, so I'm going to get out of her way and she's gonna go over this with you and I will be sitting in the room. Okay.
Oh. Okie dokie. So what we're going to be going over right now on this first sheet, Anna had already made some basic outlines of the procedures when we do listings. So right here, we talk about what is needed when you first give me the listing. You're going to need the CRMLS matrix input form, which we're going to be showing soon. We have some set up throughout the office. We have some in the training room, in the second floor computer room, and in the training room in the first floor. So if you ever need one, you can just grab it or get it from the CRMLS website. Let's see. So I'm gonna be you're gonna be giving me all the disclosures like the listing agreement, which is a must. And you have to make sure that you have the listing dates, the start and the expiration is important, and your commission, and have everything signed when you first give it to me. Some of the agents, they don't give me all the forms, but we do, want you to give them all so that way when it comes to anything later on, you're not rushing to fill out all of the forms. But the listing agreement is the most important, and the MLS printout. So we also require a minimum of 6 pictures, and we usually prefer JPEG. Some of the agents will send me, I think it's the format HEIC. So usually if you like take a photo on your iPhone and you send it to me, it'll come out like that, but I can't drag and drop it in there. So usually it would require like a PNG or usually JPEG. So sometimes it takes me time and I have to convert this, and it takes away time from inputting, your listing. If you want to get it in at a specific day, you have to make sure you come to me before. I think we have our cutoff is 3 p.m. So after that, it's not guaranteed, especially if you're missing a lot of information. It's not guaranteed that I'm going to put it the day of. So if you want to convert the images on yourself, I think you could just go on Google and just put image converter. You can put like the file type. So if it's like it ends in HEIC, just put convert HEIC to JPEG, and then you can just download it. And then we want a description. A description is a must. Usually the agents will just send me an email instead of filling it out on the form because it's really small to put it in there. So agents will just email me, and then on the actual MLS input form, they'll just put see email. Let's see. And we require that High 10 George Realty addendum too as well. Let's see. And also, if you want to sign, we have a sign order form that you have to fill out. Some of them are near Jenny's desk on the second floor, or you could just come to me in the front desk and I can print it out for you, or also in the computer room. I believe I have a sign order form. So yeah, if you want to sign installed, you'll just fill it in. If there's any special instructions, like some of the agents, they just want the hooks and the posts only, and sometimes they put their personal sign there by themselves. You'll, write that in the special instructions in the more detail, more possible. A lot of agents too will also send me reference photos if they want it placed at a specific location on the property. So I will go ahead and email it to the company. And then if you need the Chinese advertising, then Jenny has that form with her, and she's the one who does the Chinese advertising. So you'll deal with her, send it to her. So also, to go over, to fill out the form, sometimes agents, they don't know where to get certain information. So I kind of made this little sheet. So filling out the form, you'll likely reference the title pro, or you'll go to your title company. And usually this is what it'll look like. So when you get it, I have all the property information. This is an example. So it'll also, let me go a little bit zoomed in. So it'll list out all the information. This is just a little snippet, but it'll come up with a full PDF that you can download. So this, you can find the tax lot, what else? The APN number, anything else that you're missing. You could also look at the CRMLS and go to Realist Tax, and that's going to be at the top when you log in. You'll just go to Realist Tax, and then you'll type in, you can use the APN or the address. And there's other things that you can fill out to try to locate it, and you go into it. And then you can download the PDF that it comes with or just view it on the web. So like this is an example of what it'll look like, right? It'll have the APN number here or how many beds and the building square footage lot. So it has all kinds of information. So that's where you can find additional information, but make sure you want to go to your seller after you fill this in to make sure that everything is correct and up to date. So this is we're going to be going into the MLS input form and what's needed. So this is page 1. I believe there's 12 pages for the residential MLS input form. So you want to put your status if it's active. Usually we have active. I've had a few times where it's coming soon. So that just means that it's coming soon. It's not yet listed. So you would fill out that box, but usually it's active. So we're gonna need your list price here, parcel number, although you don't technically need it, but most of the time I suggest that you have it. So your parcel number, you would fill out yes, and then put the parcel number here. If there's any additional parcels, you can put them here as well, but sometimes there's not always an additional parcel number. Seller considers concessions. Usually we put no. So the highlighted is what is needed. So the county, the city, MLS area is especially needed. Some agents will also leave this out. And so this is important that you get it. You can get it from the real estate tax, I believe, I've seen. And sometimes the subdivision is required, but it's not always required. As you can see, there's a little note right here that talks about the subdivision. So sometimes if you don't know, I'm not sure for sure if it'll tell you or not if there's a subdivision or not. Usually when I'm entering it, it'll automatically like generate and I have to input that in. So it would be best if you do have that, and we can fill it in, or not, I'm gonna have to go to you and it'll cause a little bit of lag in inputting it. So yeah, your general information, you're gonna fill out street number, direction, street name, street suffix. It's important that if you have a unit, you're going to put it here too. Sometimes agents will leave the unit out, so please put the unit number if there's a unit number. And also put directions. Now I know it's really small in the input form, so you can also email me the directions. Just type it out or put it in Microsoft Word, type everything out and just email it to me. That's what a lot of agents do because it won't fit right here. Let's see.
Does that also apply to lease property, putting directions and all that?
Yeah, I think usually everything requires directions.
You can put as simple as cross street.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a whole,
Monterey.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, you can just put like 2 streets that it's off of. Or I like to sometimes I'll go into Chat GPT and I'll tell it, can you give me the directions to this address? Put the address. Sometimes it's long, so I'll like make it shorter and then that'll work. Okay, is this a land lease? So you're gonna put no unless otherwise. We need the common interest, the structure type, we need a property subtype, year, how many beds, and how many baths.
So anything with an asterisk is a requirement. You must fill out, or else Jackie will let you know if you can't submit your listings until you provide all required information.
Anna just said, if you didn't hear, anything asterisk on the form is needed, but sometimes I notice some stuff isn't asterisk and it is needed, or sometimes it's asterisk and it's not needed. So technically they need to update that, but I highlighted everything here for you to see. So, if there's an HOA, you need to, put that if there's an HOA, and there's another page later on that we'll go over, but you're going to put the information down for the HOA.
If you give more than the asterisk, you put it in.
Yeah, so if you fill out more of this, that's fine. The more information, the better if you want. This is just the minimum of what is needed to input your listing.
Thank you.
I have a comments on the pictures that you submitted. The pictures that you submitted for the property has to be original. Either you take it yourself or you have some professional photographer take it for you, and then the photographer give you the permission to list it. Otherwise, you'll be infringing on somebody's intellectual property. And there's a big violation the CRMLS, and they'll cost you about $1,000.
So Peter just touched on that the photos that you have, they need to be yours, or you need to get permission for your photographer. And anything that is also virtually like staged or edited, you need to note that and have the original photo as well, because there is a fee that Peter just pointed out that it could be up to $1,000 or even more. So you want to be careful with that. And sometimes agents, I also notice that they'll take a screenshot, but it'll have the watermark, and there needs to be no watermark and no names, no numbers or anything at all, or you're gonna get a violation and you can have a fine.
Yeah, if you have a watermark from the CRMLS,
Mhm.
then this is their property, not yours anymore.
Mm-hmm. And then also, you need one good photo of the exterior, trying to get the main area. Sometimes a lot of agents will do it really up close, but you have to try to get as big or out as possible, a wide as possible angle for that first exterior photo of the front. Okay, so this is gonna be page 2. Is there least considered? How many levels? How many stories? Now these 3 right here, stories total, entry level, entry location, it's not asterisk, but it is needed. So that's why I highlighted it. And you'll notice on the forms, if you print it out, there's no asterisk, but it is needed. So always reference this. If you want, I could print you out the highlight version so you guys could reference it and know what is needed. So special listing. So is this standard? Usually most of them I see that it's standard filled out. And now we're going to go to description. So like I said, some agents will put C email for description, and then they'll just email it to me because that's easier, because there's not a lot of space to fill out. A few times I've had some agents put some inclusions or exclusions. So like they'll put including the fridge or refrigerator, or excluding like the fridge, or stuff like that. So right here, technically you're gonna put a link. Now you can also email me the link as well. So it has to be unbranded. So that means, like it says right here, it'll list everything. So you can't put any information other than the address or how many beds and bath square footage. No
captions, is that what you mean? No
no branding. So no name, no phone numbers, and no logos of any kind. Anything going back to you, they're basically, that can't be it. So you would just send the link to me, and then I would just put that under here. Okay, this is page 3. So as you see, there's a lot of information here. So any interior features, heating, appliances. So I highlighted again what is needed. So cooling is definitely needed. If you go down, laundry is needed. Is there a laundry, or is it just a hookup? Is it inside? You would just fill out that out. Now every page needs to be initialed by your seller and your agent. Every page. And then I believe on the last page, you'll need signatures for both parties. So the next page is room type. So a lot of agents will just put, like, if there's one level, all rooms down, or if they're up, you would just fill that in. Fireplace, is there a fireplace? Usually a lot of agents, they don't have fireplaces, but you would put none, or you would put the location of where the fireplace is located. Let's see, let's scroll. So is there a pool feature? You would put none, or your other options. Let's see, view is needed, and then common walls is needed. Anything else is extra. The more the better. Lot features is needed. So a lot of the times, if it's a big lot, agents will put square footage, or I know I've seen level with street. There's an option, because sometimes some agents don't know what to put. It says if there's a sprinkler system, community features is needed. A lot of agents will also miss this one too. So make sure that you fill that in. So does it have curbs? You can easily put curbs, or if it's like suburban, that's usually what I see. Anything else is rare. Yeah, people put sidewalks. So you have to make sure their sidewalks, everything is accurate, because you could also get a fine if information is not accurate. So you need to be careful. Let's see. What else is
Sometimes I
needed?
feel like we can miss something, you know, even if we're looking and looking like, oh, I forgot to check that, or sometimes I overthink it with this,
Mhm.
you know?
But you
Mhm.
know, a good idea is like I do with my clients. I'm with them filling that out because they like to check,
Mhm.
you know, and see what they have.
So Rosa just said that she likes to be with her clients and fill it out together. So that's also a good thing to do. So you make sure that everything is accurate and you're not missing anything. And this page is usually the exterior features continued. So main level bedrooms is needed. How many are on the main level and how many bathrooms are on the main level? If it's just one level, then you'll, just put the total. You can't put any half bedrooms, so it has to be a full number. So if it's 2.5, then you just round up to 3. Is there an attached garage? You put yes or no. Sewer is needed. Usually it's public. Water source. Um, Usually it's public or it's private. So whatever information it is, and you put that in. Let's see. Land in terms. So we need tax lot, tax track number, and the number of units in community. So if it's a community, you need the total units. If it's no community, you would just put 1 usually. A lot of agents will miss this too. So as again, like I said before, you can go to your title pro, title company, or the realist tax to get this information. It should be on there. Are there any assessments? Usually there's none or unknown. So usually we'll just put unknown for that. And also this is an asterisk on the form, but it is needed. The tax other assessments, this information here. Usually it would just be none. So you just put none unless otherwise, then you would fill that information in. So if there's an HOA, if you click yes on HOA, you need to fill this out. So you need to know the fee, the frequency of that fee, the name and the management name and a phone number. And also, what amenities do they have with this HOA? Is there a pool? Do they collect, the trash? Is there security or whatnot? You would click everything out, try to get as much information as possible. And then, what is the high school district? This is also found, I believe, on the realist tax. If you look too, that information is there. A lot of agents will also list out all of the schools as well, so that's very helpful, but it's not needed. But the more the better. And then the listing terms, this is important too. So is it cash? You see a lot of cash to new loan, conventional. So whatever it is, and you're gonna fill that out. Possession, it's not needed, but a lot of agents put the possession, right? And usually they'll put close plus 3 days or close of escrow. I've seen. The next page continued. So this is office and MLS. So anything about compensation we don't put because yeah, we're not putting anything that has to do with compensation. Because I know there was an issue with that, so we're not saying anything about compensation on the MLS. So listing contract date. Usually the agents will put what's on the listing agreement, but whenever we do this, it's the day that we're gonna input it, that we put that date. And then, you're gonna have your expiration date on there. Listing service is usually full service. Is there a sign on the property? So if you give me a sign, then you would check this box too out. And this one, start showing date. So if you put coming soon, you need to put a start showing date. That is a must. A lot of agents who have done the coming soon, they'll miss that information and that's needed. So the
we have
listing
to put
agreement.
the actual date, right? Not just-
Yes, so the start showing date. So we're gonna put, usually it's exclusive right to sell in the listing agreement. So any contingencies you would put here, since there's not a lot of space, you could also email that to me. Showing contact type, usually it's an agent, and then you will put your name. You don't have to put your name. Usually, when I put your ID in there, which I'll show you later on where you put that on the form, it'll already generate your information, so your email and your phone number, and then I think there you probably pre-select a preference of in order that you would like to be contacted. So make sure all this stuff is up to date. Occupant type needs to be filled out. Is it vacant? Is there a tenant or whatnot? You don't need to put the owner's name. Some rarely have put the owner's name, but you don't need that. Showing instructions is needed. So you could write it here or you could email it to me again. So what's the lockbox location? If there's none, then you would just put none. So the preferred order contact type. So some agents will just check it off. So usually if you do that, because you're supposed to put in order, then I will kind of decide what order, since you know, don't put the order number. I mean, the order of how you would like to be contacted. So you could just, you know, check what you want. And then I usually know it's usually direct cell phone, text, and then maybe the last is email. Now over here, this information is usually yes, unless otherwise. And right here it says if you select no, then you make sure that your seller is, you know, is okaying this. But usually all this information is yes. Any private remarks you would put here, so you can email me again, along with, you know, the description, contingency, showing instructions. And then your listing ID. A lot of agents will miss this. So when you log in, this is your ID. So when I put it in, it's gonna put, you know, that this is under you, and it'll generate your information. So I think I had an instance where the email that they use that's connected to the MLS wasn't technically your offer's email. They probably had another one. So if you want another email other than the one that's connected, then you would just put that here and I would write that in for you, or else it's connected. So make sure that this is up to date. If it's not the same email that you want to be contacted with, then you make sure that you change that, like on your settings.
Would that be the same email that you want people to send all your
Yeah,
contacts, documents?
Anything that you want sent to you, any offers or whatnot, it would be to this email, which is usually connected to your account. And then, you know, your name here and then your license number here would be filled out. So there's also green verification. So usually I've never seen that, you know, we fill this out. It's rare, but, you know, make sure that if you do, everything is correct and all this information needs to be filled out. Power production is usually no. But you know, if you want to fill that out, then make sure you fill that out properly and always reference the CRMLS for more information. Like if you want to know, you know, what exactly should be filled out. Is this an ADU? Usually it's not an ADU that I've seen, so you know, you would just put no. But if it is, then you would fill all this additional information out. So if you want an open house, you would also put that here. So you're gonna put the date, the time, showing agent, and usually, I mean, I think it's left out here, but usually it's public, and then you would put active. But you could also email me as well. You could say, okay, can you input this open house for me? Here's the dates and the times. And I would go ahead and do that. You don't necessarily have to put it in here. And then just, you know, your name again, and then your phone number to be filled out. And the last page again. So you're going to have this signed by you, the agent, and then the seller. Is there one seller? Then you would put on this line, or if you have two, then both of them have to sign and date. And then again, it still need initials from both parties on each page. So make sure that you fill this out. And that's pretty much it about how to fill in the MLS. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to go over with.
Question,
Jimmy has a question.
on the buyer agents, in that final page, 1212, where it says buyer agent, what if there's no buyer agent yet? And
No, you don't put it,
You don't put
the
it.
listing agent.
Yeah, so Jimmy just said on page 12, if you need the buyer agent information, that's not needed because there's no buyer yet. We're just listing it for now. Yeah, so anything highlighted is what you need at the minimum. Rebecca?
And I don't know, did Jackie tell you she prints these MLS during the computer room?
Yes.
And, to make sure, if you're gonna print your own, to make sure you capture the bottom for the initials, because
Yeah.
sometimes it cuts it off.
Yeah, it's true.
So you have to make sure you select the whole page.
So Anna just said that when you print this out, make sure you put fit to printable area, because a lot of the times the pages and the initials will get cut off. So make sure that you go ahead and put fit to printable area in the settings when you go to print, or you can just get one from the office.
Or you take one to the client and that is not.
Say for instance, there's a listing that's
120 days. They go have open house, do we have to go through you to do it, or we can go on there and do the open house dates again?
We do the open house, so you could just email me.
New one, right? This whole thing's for a new list. So just
Yeah,
email it
new
in and
listing.
put it in?
Yeah, you could put it on there, or yeah, if you have an open house, just email me with the dates and the times. And also, if you also have another agent that's other than you who's gonna show it, then I need their MLS ID, because then I put that in there as well.
You don't have
For
to
the
submit the
open
whole
house.
thing.
Yeah, for the open house.
Okay, you don't have to submit the whole thing. You just submit the page about the open house.
Okay.
And send it to,
So this,
to Jackie.
okay.
Yeah.
You had a question?
Yes, could you elaborate on the realist tax? Where do you find that?
Okay, so Annie's talking about on the realist tax. Let's see, let me reference that real quick.
It's not on the page, it's on the MLS.
On page 8, she's talking about,
It'll say real list.
If you click it on your CR MLS, it'll say realist
I see that.
search,
Yeah.
realist tax, then it'll say search, and then you put in the address, and then it populates the information about the property. Or you can call your favorite title rep to send you what they call cover and comps.
And
You
then
can just ask cover and comps.
so Annie just asked, how do you go into the realist tax?
Yeah.
So when you log into your CRMLS at the top, let's see, it'll say realist tax right here. So when you log in, it's gonna have like your dashboard at the top. It says realist tax. So it'll take you to another page, and you can put the address there, or APN. Usually I like to do address. It'll populate some stuff, and then you click the right address, and then it'll generate all that information. You can also print it out. It'll make it into a PDF that you can print out, or just save it.
Currently, the agent has go through you to put out the CRMLS input, right?
Yeah, so when you input, you have to go
Because
through
you-
me, so
You cannot do it themselves
yeah, the agents are not allowed to input right now
unless you have a special.
unless you go to Peter, you talk to him. But yeah, usually I input all of the listings. I have my card at the top, near me at my desk, so you can email me all this stuff. So it's usually CBGR listing coordinator at gmail.com that you would send everything over to me.
And also this report, it give you comps.
Mm.
Yeah, if you click the comps
Yeah.
box, there's a link that says comps, and you
Yeah.
can click that.
Under realist.
At the bottom, there you can have a lot of stuff, a lot of information there.
Yes.
Mhm. Anything else?
That was wonderful.
And also, Jackie, how long does it take you to get it listed in the MLS? And once they send you the.
It's the same date.
Tell me your deadline.
Usually it'll take me like 30 to 45 minutes, but it depends, right? If you filled everything out, because then I had to go back and forth with you to try to get that information. Yeah. If you don't,
About weekends too,
It's
please.
taking a few days.
so we don't input on the weekend, so Monday through Friday, we're here 9 to 6. Deadline is 3 p.m. So there's no guarantee that you're gonna get it in if you give it later on in the day. Although sometimes I can input it the same day. And make sure, again, that your pictures are JPEG, because then also it takes time for me to convert all of those photos as well. And that's time consuming.
And remember, if you market your property, you have to put in the MLS 1 day after you market the property,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So don't miss that, because there will be violations.
And Jenny and I are the ones that review all the disclosures for the listing side. So we look to make sure, all sections have been filled out, dates, signatures, initials. So make sure you review your stuff before you submit it to
Right.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Thank you, that was really
Well,
wonderful.
that's it
That
from
was
me.
Very good. Yay. Oh, that was great. Anybody else for Jacqueline while we have her?
It was real thorough, Jackie, thank you.
Okay, so,
Is this pre-recorded?
Why, she was.
okay, does anybody on Zoom have any questions? Okay, if not, we will schedule the next one within 3 to 4 weeks, and we'll keep going down the list. We're gonna go through how to get comps, things of that nature. So it's gonna be progressively, we're gonna move along in your listing and teach you how to use all of the components that are available to you on car.org pertaining to listings and things like that, so that when you're preparing to get your listing, you'll know how to go in and use the comps and how to run them and things like that. But we will progressively go through everything so that you have all the information. Thank you all. If there's no questions, we're gonna sign off. Jacqueline, you did a great job. Thank you for that. Bravo. Hey, everybody have a good week. We'll see you on Friday, and thank you all for attending. We always appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank
You know what I like about that?